Stoic strategies to take control of your day and find inner fulfillment. Have you ever stopped to consider how your mornings shape your entire day, your week, maybe even your life? Imagine waking up with clarity, purpose, and mental control, instead of being pulled into stress, noise, and urgency the moment you open your eyes. What would change in your life if you could face every day with calm focus, emotional balance, and a deeper sense of intention? That's exactly what Stoicism offers, not just theory, but real transformation, starting the moment you wake up. Stoicism isn't a cold ancient philosophy. It's a practical toolkit that can help you navigate modern life with resilience and peace. It teaches you how to handle anxiety, pressure, and distraction, not by avoiding them, but by changing the way you relate to them. And the best part? You don't need to wait years to apply it. You can start today, with small, powerful strategies that build into something life-changing. In this video, we're diving into 10 Stoic strategies you can apply throughout your day. From your first thoughts in the morning to the way you respond to life's inevitable challenges. Drawing from the wisdom of Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, you'll learn how to strengthen your mental clarity, make better decisions, and maintain a calm, grounded presence no matter what comes your way. Picture yourself waking up and responding to your world, not out of stress, fear, or urgency, but from a place of calm, self-mastery. With each strategy, you'll gain tools to reclaim your energy, reduce emotional reactivity, and reconnect with what truly matters. You'll learn how to act with intention instead of reacting on autopilot. And you'll see that your day isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you shape, one conscious choice at a time. If you're ready to start living with more strength, purpose, and mental clarity, you're in the right place. Let's begin. Part 1. Start your day with purpose. The power of a disciplined mind. How do you begin your day? What are your first thoughts upon waking? For many of us, the morning starts with a flood of worries, to-do lists, and distractions. But the Stoics believed that the way we begin our day sets the tone for everything that follows. If you don't take command of your mind early, the world will. A Stoic doesn't stumble into the day. They enter it with awareness and intention. Seneca once said, "The day begins before dawn." What he meant was simple, yet powerful. Your mindset is already shaping your reality before the outside world even touches you. If you begin the day in a rush, anxious or distracted, you're handing over control of your thoughts, your time, and your focus to external forces. But if you start with purpose, you reclaim ownership of your experience, no matter what the day holds. Beginning with purpose means anchoring your mind before it gets swept away by urgency or negativity. Before checking your phone or responding to demands, pause, take a breath, ask yourself, what really matters today? That question alone can cut through the noise and remind you of your deeper priorities. A Stoic day doesn't begin with reaction. It begins with reflection. This doesn't require hours of meditation or a perfect morning routine. It only requires one thing: presence. Starting with presence is how you take the wheel of your own mind, rather than letting it run wild. You don't need motivation or energy. You just need to choose to act from your highest values, even in small things. That's discipline, and that's freedom. The world may pull at you. People may interrupt you. Challenges will appear. But if you begin your day grounded in clarity and intention, you'll move through it with strength. Starting your day with purpose is not about controlling what happens. It's about mastering how you show up, and that one shift can change everything. Part 2. Quiet the mind. Focus on what truly matters. We live in a world of constant noise. Not just the external noise of notifications, conversations, deadlines, but the internal noise that fills our heads from the moment we wake up. Thoughts race, worries multiply, scenarios play out in our minds before the day even begins. It's easy to become overwhelmed, scattered, and emotionally reactive before breakfast. That's why one of the most powerful Stoic practices is learning to quiet the mind. Not by suppressing thoughts, but by choosing which ones deserve your attention. Epictetus wrote, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." But how can we control our reactions if our minds are clouded by noise? The Stoic answer is this: by creating internal stillness. This stillness isn't the absence of thought, It's the presence of clarity. It's the ability to notice what your mind is doing and then choose not to follow every thought that appears. When your thoughts spiral toward fear, resentment, or distraction, you have a choice. Feed the noise or return to center. And that return can be subtle: a breath, a pause, a redirection of focus. The more often you interrupt mental chaos with conscious attention, the stronger your mind becomes. Clarity is a habit, and clarity begins with silence. Modern life rewards speed, reaction, opinion. Stoicism invites the opposite. Slow down. Observe. Respond only when response serves virtue, not ego. This is not weakness. It's strength in its purest form. A person who can quiet their own mind has more power than someone who commands armies. When you train yourself to focus only on what truly matters, what you control, what aligns with your principles, your day becomes less about surviving and more about leading. A quiet mind isn't an escape from life. It's the foundation for fully living it. Part 3. Choose your response. The freedom to act with intention. Have you ever reacted impulsively, said something you regret, acted out of anger, shut down out of fear, only to look back and wonder, why did I do that? In the heat of emotion, it can feel like we have no choice. But the Stoics teach us something radically empowering. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space lies our freedom. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Those words may sound simple, but they point to a lifelong discipline. Learning to pause, reflect, and respond from principle rather than emotion. That pause, even just a moment, is where your power lives. It's where you become more than just a reaction to your environment. It's where you become conscious. Choosing your response doesn't mean suppressing emotions or pretending to be unaffected. It means acknowledging what you feel, then deciding how to act in alignment with your values, not your impulses. When you do this, you transform chaotic moments into opportunities for wisdom. A harsh word becomes a moment to practice patience. A stressful situation becomes a chance to demonstrate calm. A failure becomes a prompt for humility and resilience. This kind of control isn't cold or robotic. It's deeply human. Because to act with intention, especially under pressure, is to honor the best in you. The Stoics saw this as the highest form of strength, not to dominate others, but to master yourself. When you choose your response, you break the cycle of reactivity that keeps so many people stuck. Start small. Next time something triggers you, pause. Breathe. Ask, what would a wiser version of me do right now? That single question can reroute your entire day. And over time, it shapes your character. Because ultimately, your life is not defined by what happens to you. It's defined by how you choose to respond. Part 4. Turn discipline into your greatest ally. In today's world, discipline is often misunderstood. It's seen as rigid, cold, even restrictive. But to the Stoics, discipline was not a punishment. It was a gateway to freedom, true freedom. Because without discipline, we're not free. We're slaves to impulses, distractions, moods, and habits that keep us from becoming who we're meant to be. Discipline, properly understood, is not about control. It's about direction. Seneca said, "A life without discipline is like a ship without a rudder." Without a clear path and the strength to stay on it, we drift, pushed and pulled by whatever feels good in the moment. But when you choose discipline, you reclaim the ability to move with purpose. You stop reacting to every craving or emotion. You act from principle. And that's where real confidence begins. Discipline doesn't require you to be perfect. It asks you to be consistent. It's showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's choosing your long-term peace over your short-term comfort. It's honoring the commitments you made to yourself. Not because someone is watching, but because your word matters. That's the kind of integrity that builds inner strength. The Stoic approach to discipline isn't about punishment, it's about alignment. When your actions match your values, your mind becomes clear. You stop second-guessing, you gain momentum. Each small act of discipline, waking up on time, choosing silence over impulse, staying focused, becomes a vote for the person you want to be. Over time, What once felt like effort becomes second nature, and what once felt like sacrifice begins to feel like power. Because discipline isn't about restriction, it's about liberation. You're not saying no to yourself, you're saying yes to your highest self. Let discipline become your daily ally, not your enemy. Make it a quiet partner that walks with you, keeping you steady when the world tries to knock you off course. The disciplined life is not a harder life. It's a cleaner, clearer, freer one. Part 5. Live in the present. Free yourself from the anxiety of the future. How much of your energy is spent worrying about things that haven't happened yet? The job interview, the conversation you're dreading, the question of whether you'll succeed or fail. The future can feel like a storm on the horizon, always approaching, always uncertain. And yet, the Stoics remind us, the future isn't real. The present is. You can't act in tomorrow. You can only act now. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not let the future trouble you. You will meet it with the same reason that guides you today." That wisdom cuts through the noise. The strength you need for the future is forged by how you show up in the present. Every moment you spend fearing what's ahead is a moment lost. And worse, a moment where you gave away your peace. Anxiety thrives on imagined scenarios. What if I fail? What if they reject me? What if everything goes wrong? But here's the truth. Most of those things will never happen. And even if they do, you will handle them better from a calm mind than a panicked one. That's why Stoics focus on what's real, not what's hypothetical. To live in the present doesn't mean ignoring the future. It means not being ruled by it. It means asking, what can I do right now that is meaningful, virtuous, or useful? It means bringing your full attention to the task in front of you, the breath you're taking, the person you're with. When you do this, time slows down, clarity rises, life becomes lighter. The Stoics knew that control is limited, but presence is always available. And presence is powerful. Because when you fully inhabit the now, you build resilience. You sharpen your awareness. You stop trying to predict life and start engaging with it. Let go of the illusion that peace will come once everything is figured out. It won't. Peace is a practice, and it begins with anchoring yourself in the present moment, over and over again. Part 6. Be your own ally. Overcome daily self-sabotage. Have you ever noticed how the loudest voice holding you back is often your own? The inner critic, the doubts, the hesitation, the patterns of procrastination or perfectionism that quietly sabotage your efforts. The Stoics understood this deeply. The biggest battle isn't against the outside world, it's within. And victory begins when you choose to become your own ally instead of your enemy. Epictetus taught, no person is free unless they govern themselves. That self-governance starts with recognizing when your mind is working against you, when you delay action out of fear, when you wait for external validation to prove your worth, when you let a moment of discomfort derail something meaningful. These moments may seem small, but they compound. Left unchecked, they build a life of hesitation and regret. To be your own ally is not to ignore your flaws. It's to stop waging war on yourself. It means replacing harsh inner judgment with honest self-reflection. It means treating yourself with the same patience and firmness you'd offer a close friend. The Stoic doesn't indulge in excuses, but they also don't tear themselves down. They course-correct with clarity and compassion. Self-sabotage thrives in the shadows of silence. The antidote is awareness. Catch the patterns, question the stories you tell yourself, interrupt the cycle. When you do, you create space to choose differently. You realize that you don't need motivation, you need movement. Not perfection, just progress. Being your own ally also means showing up when no one else does. It means encouraging yourself in failure and holding yourself accountable in success. It's remembering that you don't need the world's permission to grow. You just need your own decision to keep going. Each time you act with self-trust, you reclaim a little more of your strength. You stop waiting for someone to rescue you and start building yourself with intention. That's Stoicism in action. Not cold, but courageous. Not rigid, but reliable. And deeply free. Part 7. Quiet gratitude. The secret to beginning your day with inner peace. In a world that celebrates noise, sharing, and constant affirmation, Gratitude has become a public performance. Lists on social media, hashtags of positivity. But the Stoics practiced a quieter kind of gratitude, one that required no audience and no words. It was silent, it was sacred, and it was powerful. Because true peace isn't born from what you show the world. It's born from what you privately acknowledge. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." That moment of reflection doesn't need to be grand or poetic, it just needs to be real. Before the world intrudes with noise and demands, the Stoic pauses and gives thanks, not just for what is pleasurable, but for what is real, what is meaningful, what still remains. Quiet gratitude is not about ignoring pain. It's about refusing to let pain blind you to what's still good. It's looking around and within and saying, even here, I still have something. Something to work with, something to learn from, something worth protecting. It's noticing the warmth of the sun, the chance to begin again, the breath moving in and out of your body. This kind of gratitude doesn't make headlines, but it reshapes your mindset. When you start the day anchored in appreciation, your attention sharpens. You stop chasing what's missing and start noticing what's already enough. Your nervous system calms, your reactions soften. You move through the world with steadiness instead of scarcity. You don't need to write it down or speak it aloud. You only need to feel it, fully, quietly, honestly. And when you do, something inside you shifts. The day no longer begins in lack or in stress, but in presence, in wholeness. Gratitude doesn't erase problems, but it gives you the strength to face them without bitterness, and the peace to carry yourself through them with grace. Part 8. Master your thoughts. The key to a more balanced day. Your thoughts are the architects of your experience. Each one builds a part of your day, not with bricks, but with perception, meaning, and energy. If your mind is filled with clutter, judgment, and mental noise, your day feels heavy, chaotic, and out of control. But if you learn to direct your thoughts like a sculptor shapes clay, you can transform the entire atmosphere of your life. That's the Stoic path. Not to be thoughtless, but to think with intention. Epictetus wrote, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." That truth is at the core of Stoicism. Events don't control your emotions, your interpretation of them does. And that interpretation happens in your mind. So if your thoughts are reactionary, fear-based, or judgmental, your experience of life will mirror that. But if your thoughts are grounded, clear, and value-driven, your inner world becomes steady, even if the outer world is unstable. Thought mastery begins with awareness. Don't believe every thought that pops into your head. Some are old programming, some are distorted by fear or ego. Instead ask, is this thought useful? Is it true? Is it helping me act with virtue? These questions are like filters. They help you catch mental noise before it becomes emotional chaos. You don't need to think perfectly, you just need to interrupt the automatic. When a negative thought arises, don't fight it. Observe it. Let it pass. Choose a better one. This is not toxic positivity. It's conscious authorship. It's choosing which mental habits you reinforce and which ones you let dissolve. When you begin to shape your thoughts deliberately, your actions follow. You speak more clearly. You act with more patience. You feel less scattered. The world still brings challenges but you stop amplifying them with your own mind. A balanced day doesn't come from perfect conditions. It comes from a trained mind. And training begins with a single choice: to stop being a passive thinker and start becoming an active one. Part 9. Live by principles, not emotions. Discover true motivation. Emotions are powerful and they serve a purpose, but they are not stable. They rise and fall like tides. One moment you feel confident, the next, uncertain, motivated, then discouraged. If you build your life around how you feel in the moment, you'll always be at the mercy of emotional weather. That's why the Stoics urge us to do something radically different. Build your life on principles, unshakable inner values that don't change with your mood. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it's the right thing to do, do it. If it's not, don't. Everything else is just noise." That clarity is rare in today's world, where so many decisions are fueled by fleeting emotions. But imagine what would happen if your actions weren't based on how you felt, but on who you are. That's the power of principle-based living. When you act on principle, you don't need to feel brave to do the right thing. You don't need to feel calm to speak the truth. You don't need to feel strong to choose discipline. You simply remember your values and let them guide your behavior. Over time, this builds something deeper than confidence. It builds character. This doesn't mean you ignore your emotions. The Stoic listens to emotions, but doesn't obey them blindly. You acknowledge what you feel, and then ask, does this align with my values? If it does, act. If it doesn't, let it pass. That's not repression. That's wisdom. Living by principles is what keeps you steady when life gets chaotic. It's what makes you trustworthy, to others and to yourself. It's what turns fleeting motivation into lasting inner drive. And most of all, it's what makes your actions meaningful. Because when you live from principle, your choices aren't reactive. They're intentional. True motivation isn't a feeling, it's a decision to live in alignment with your deepest truth, whether it's easy or not. That's where the Stoic finds strength. That's where purpose becomes unshakable. Part 10. Steadiness and clarity. How to face daily challenges with inner strength. Your day will challenge you. There will be delays, conflicts, unexpected changes, and moments that test your patience. You can't control that. What you can control is how you meet those challenges, not with panic, but with presence, not with reactivity, but with reason. The Stoics didn't teach us to avoid adversity. They taught us how to face it, with steadiness and clarity. Seneca wrote, "Nothing is more admirable than a person who maintains their composure in the midst of chaos." That composure doesn't mean indifference. It means strength anchored in understanding. It means knowing that while you can't control everything that happens, you can always control how you carry yourself through it. And in that control lies your true power. Steadiness is your anchor. It keeps you grounded when everything else feels unstable. It's what helps you keep your values intact under pressure. It's what allows you to respond rather than react. And clarity. It's your compass. It reminds you of what matters most. It cuts through noise, ego, and emotion. Together, these two virtues form the Stoic's shield, not to block out life, but to move through it with dignity. Each obstacle is not just a problem, it's an opportunity to practice, to live your philosophy, to become in action the kind of person you aspire to be. The traffic jam becomes a lesson in patience. The difficult conversation becomes a chance to show courage. The moment of uncertainty becomes a test of trust in your own strength. And when you face each challenge with this mindset, something shifts. Life stops feeling like something happening to you. It becomes something you are participating in, with intention, with calm, with inner stability. You don't need a perfect day to feel powerful. You need a practiced mind, guided by timeless principles. That's the Stoic secret. True strength isn't loud or aggressive. It's quiet, focused, unshakable, and it's available to you every single day. Now that you've discovered these 10 Stoic strategies, the question is, will you slip back into autopilot, or will you begin each day with purpose, calm, and clarity? Every sunrise is a new invitation, not just to survive the day, but to lead it with strength. Stoicism isn't a philosophy for rare moments. It's for the mornings you wake up tired, for the setbacks you didn't expect, for the chaos you can't control. It's in how you breathe, think, and choose, even when things go wrong. If this video helped you reconnect with your inner compass, share it with someone who needs a little clarity in their life too. And if you're ready to deepen this journey, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and join a space where ancient wisdom becomes modern power. And here's the best part. In our next video, we'll explore how to strengthen your inner core so deeply that not even people, pressure, or problems can shake you. If you've ever felt emotionally drained by others or thrown off by life's chaos, you won't want to miss it. Because in the end, your peace isn't negotiable. And with Stoicism on your side, you'll learn not just how to start your day with strength, but how to carry it with you, no matter what.